How you doing, everybody? I'm the fish man, I'm an addict. Wait a minute. I'm not addicted to any courses. I got one disease. I'm addicted, I'm not duly addicted. I come one place and I'm clean. I want to thank Lynn for sharing the hope, strength, and experience. And I appreciate if the people in the back could be a little quiet so we can hear what the people up front. This is Listen to Learn, and I want to welcome everybody to Staten Island, to Unity Day Listen to Learn, and I want to thank the people from out of town that can come in today. And our next speaker is a gentleman from North Philly. Came all the way from North Philly here to share his hope, strength, and experience on Amends, and I give you Kenny Ali.
I'm a grateful recovering addict named Kenny. Before I start, I'd like to take this time to thank the God of my understanding for getting us here safely. I also want to take this time to thank him for blessing me with his grace, with his love, and with his mercy. Because today, after being here for a little while, I know that without God's grace, without God's love, and without God's mercy, I'll be in trouble. And things have got that simple for me. You know, it's not a whole lot of nothing. I know that it's only through God's grace do I not get the things that I do deserve, and it's only through his love and his mercy do I don't get the things that I do. All right, did I say that right? I'm caught up in something here, right? You know, what I'm caught up in here, right, is that, I want to thank this, what they call this, a borough or a city, or I want to thank Staten Island, right, for asking a guy from North Philly, right, to come here and just do some talking, right, because I've never been here. This is the first time that I've been here, right, and they asked me to come share on the topic amends, and you know, I want to thank my lovely wife for taking a ride down here with me, because at the last minute, you know, I go a lot of places, right, and like a lot of my friends know, I travel by myself or with a couple friends. But my wife told me at the last minute, she said that she wanted to come. And the freedom I felt, right, the freedom that I felt by just saying, yeah, come on. Right, and I'm gonna touch on that later, right, because it's two kinds of amends that this program talks about, right? This program talks about direct amends, and this program talks about indirect amends. Right? Now, when I first came into this fellowship, right, I came into this fellowship because all I could ID with was a drug problem. All right? But I heard a few speakers before talked about when the euphoria of just staying clean wears off, right? And I was faced with me. All right? And I had to start getting in touch with the recovery piece, right? That what I found out after being here, right, that staying clean is at the foundation of everything here, right? But Narcotics Anonymous is like a cocoon, right? Now, if you ever get into the mechanics of a cocoon, it's a ugly little creature called a caterpillar that spins a cocoon around himself. All right? He's real ugly. He's a hideous little guy. But when he comes through on the other side of this cocoon, right, he becomes a beautiful butterfly, right? And what I found out that when I first came here, I was a hideous little bum that came off the streets of 25th and Cecil B. Moore Avenue in North Philly, right? I came out of an abandoned house. My whole world has shrank to the second floor front bedroom of an abandoned house, which was beautifully decorated with jars and buckets of piss. I was defecating in a bathtub. I wasn't washing, I wasn't eating, and I was caught up with something that had me doing things that I'm not too proud of, but I always share about. I'm talking about resorting to some things like prostituting myself to men, stealing from my mother, stealing from my kids. I mean, doing any and everything to accomplish my lifelong dream at the end of my road, which was just to get one more. Right now, all I was locked into at the end of my story was, I just got to get one more. One more is going to solve everything for me. All right? I'm feeling something up in here, and I don't want to feel it, right? So just let me get one more. So when I came in here, I thought, look, man, and all while I was getting one more, it was a thought in the back of my head, if I could only stop using. Right? So at the end of my road, when I was driven to that, oh man, that beautiful prayer, God help me, and that prayer led me to the rooms, I said, how? It's a euphoric feeling that comes with staying clean for the first time. All right? It's a euphoric feeling that comes from like, oh man, you know what it is to get up in the morning and you ain't got to take your little money that you got and go cop? It's a euphoric feeling. But when the euphoria wears off, see, I didn't come here for steps or sponsors, or I didn't come here for none of this stuff, right? I came because I had a secret agenda. I just wanted to stop using. When I came here, though, it's something about when your butt is on fire. When your butt is on fire, right, you look for a way to put it out. Now, if you don't believe what I'm saying, let's go back to a few years ago, Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor was on fire, right? And all he was looking for, when you're on fire, all you look for is the solution, right, which is the water. All right? So when I came here, although I didn't understand a whole lot of things, let's call the water the message. When I came here, although I didn't understand, I knew one thing, right, that my butt was on fire and I needed a solution, right? And the only thing I knew when I came here was, although I didn't understand, I just didn't want to go back. Do you understand what I'm saying? Although I didn't understand, I didn't want to go back. Y'all was talking a whole bunch of stuff, recovery, 12 steps. I didn't understand that shit. I didn't want to hear it. All I knew was I was doing something which was listening. And when I listened to you, I went to bed clean at night. It was real simple shit here, right? But after a while, right, I ran into me clean. Okay? I ran into me clean. I got in touch with what they call the disease of addiction. Like somebody shared earlier, that the drug usage was nothing but the key to the disease of addiction. That when I put the drugs down, right, when I put the drugs down, I'm still suffering from the disease of addiction. And I started to get in touch with like a lot of stuff. So now we're here to talk about amends today, right? Now, to make amends, it has to be some damage had been done somewhere. Now when I came here, all I could focus on, once I got the sponsor and I got into the step process and all this stuff, right? You know, like the good addict I am, right? You know, I want to go and make peace with everybody. But I'm not here today to talk about making amends to everybody. All right? I'm not here today to talk about making amends to everybody, because what I found out in the literature, and why over here talks about this here, it says that through our inability to accept personal responsibilities, we actually created our own problems. No, let's go a line before that. We did many people great harm, but most of all, we harmed ourselves. Now the kind of person I was, right, I wanted to make amends to everybody. I'm sorry I did this to you. I'm sorry I did this to you. Forgive me for this. Forgive me for that. All right? But let me tell you something, right? I'm in touch with this, right? I've been the sorriest joker that I've known all my life. I've always said I'm sorry and then go right back to doing stuff. All right? I always say I'm sorry and I'll go right back now. Now, we're talking about direct amends and indirect amends. We're talking about going through a cocoon. I ain't forgot what I told y'all when I first got here. That the journey that we're going through here, I'm in touch with today, right, is to become a human being. We're talking about the process around human development. All right? And we do recover, talks about we are no longer compelled to act against our true nature and do the things that we don't really want to do. What is my true nature? What is my true nature? My true nature is not being an addict. My true nature is being a human being. A human being, one who is in accordance with the will of God. All right? That's my true nature. So my journey is trying to get there. Okay? So, okay, now when I got here, right, I went through the thing about trying to make amends to everybody. I found out that the person that I have to start making amends to is myself. It says most of all, we harmed ourselves. All right? We harmed ourselves. The process of the 12 step, a beautiful journey, right? But it gets you in touch with cleaning out your own backyard. All right? Now, I thought that making amends to myself was caught up in the dressing good, the looking good, and all that type of stuff, right? I'm finding out, right, that hey, look, it's real crazy, right, after I got clean, the way that I treated myself. All right? I lost all sight of the obsession, the compulsion, and the total self-centeredness. I'm talking about the way I treated myself here in the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous. Jumping in Mary Jane and Sue bed. All right? Lying and conniving and still cheating with my mother. Still stealing her peace of mind. Still being ungrateful. Still being disrespectful to my children. Still not being able to stand up. But look, call myself, I'm clean. I'm talking about the decisions that I made when I first got here. I'm talking about learning through the 12-step process. We're talking about making amends to self. It was how and why I say the greatest amends that our recovery is also a way of making amends to ourselves. The greatest amends that we can make is to ourselves. I'm talking about learning through the 12-step process, right? How to curb my appetite. All right? I'm talking about, look, right? How to curb my appetite for the things that I consider to be good for me. Huh? How I had to learn how to live within my means. How do I express love to myself? Love for myself is not when I go to the barber shop every Friday. Huh? Love for myself is not caught up in me just going shopping and getting the latest fashions. Love for myself is not that. What I found out by making amends to myself, I had to find out that love for me, first I have to practice how to watch the decisions that I'm making. My actions, they go right back to me. We're talking about making amends here. June 3rd, page 161 on Just for the Day, talks about indirect amends is changing our attitudes and behaviors. The amends process takes you out of a hole. All right? It takes you out of a hole. But indirect amends helps you to stay out the hole. See, it's one thing to be a sorry joker. It's one thing to be a sorry joker. It's another thing to continue to be a sorry joker. All right? And Kenny, if you wanted to learn how to stay out the hole, what was the hole that I was in? It says in desperation, I sought help from each other in Narcotics Anonymous, man. Do you know what it is to be clean? Looking all good. And sitting in the audience in quiet desperation. I'm talking about you look good, you smell good, you sound good, but you're fucked up. I'm talking about making amends. I'm talking about making amends to self. I'm talking about when you're caught up in making amends to self, right? When you're caught up in making amends to self, man, you learn how to discipline you.
That's right.
Do you know how to keep your hands off of somebody else's? I'm talking about how to curb your appetite. And look, it's not easy. Because everything, let me tell you something, I fight a battle every day. I fight a battle every day because everything that I'm trying to do goes against everything that I wanted to do. Everything that I'm trying to do goes against what I wanted to do. So everything that I try to do makes me feel like a chump. Makes me feel like it ain't worth doing. But I'm here to tell you that the step process don't make you a chump, it make you a champ. It's a difference. I'm talking about today, learning how to live within my means. Let me tell you something, and it's not an easy thing. The reason why I'm talking about my wife and how much freedom that I found in just saying to her to come and go with me, and making amends to myself and watching the decision. That's all right. Y'all ain't, look, man, y'all ain't got to tell them shit. All right, you don't have to tell them shit. Because if you want to listen, you will listen. Show by example the respect that you have, and maybe they will pick it up. Because in making amends, you get caught up in principles. Respect and consideration is a principle. But you cannot give something if you don't have it. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can't give something if you don't have it. So you can't continue to tell people to show. You don't invite people to come miles, man, and then you just be disturbing them. That's not respect. But in this program, there are two kinds of people. Those who show us what to do, and those who show us what not to do. So which one? Let me ask you something. Which one do you want to be? You don't have to keep saying should. Because when God comes in the mix, He will let you hear what you need to hear. So you ain't got to get caught up in that. So let's go back to my wife again. All right? No, I'm serious about this now. I'm talking about in making decisions for myself and making amends for myself. What has become very valuable for me today is something called my peace of mind. So when I travel, I go all over the place. We bump heads a lot, right? Do I know how to watch my appetite when she ain't with me? All right? Look, it's one thing to be in the city of Philadelphia and acting like a role model, but when I come out of town, all right, and don't nobody know me, am I the same role model that I am back in Philadelphia? Or am I cracking and opening some doors? I'm talking about making amends, indirect amends now. Indirect amends, changing the behaviors. At one point in my life when I came, look, I was a dog. I did whatever I wanted to do. What? My story showed me that I will do whatever I want to do to satisfy a feeling. I will do any and everything to satisfy a feeling. When I wanted to get high, that was a feeling. Look, let me show you a drug of choice, right? Let me show you a drug that's one of the most devastating drugs, clean. But a lot of people ain't down with it. It's called sex. Another thing that will satisfy a feeling. All right? But now look, do I know how to come and go where I have to go, do what I have to do and leave? When she said to me, she said, I'm going with you. Do you know the freedom it is, right, in not having to pick up the phones and like call, my wife is coming? You got her. Look, man, I'm not saying that to be funny. I'm talking about how, right, when she says, I want to go, whether it's in Philadelphia, on the road, or whatever, that all I say is, yeah, well, come on. Why? Because in learning how to curb my appetite, all right, I don't have nothing to hide. Now, it's not easy. Because look, my teachings since I've been small has never been to settle for one dish. I'm starting to teach myself. I've been learning through a loving and caring God how to settle for one dish. Now look, when the dish gets too spicy, as my wife can be, a very spicy person, and I don't see the beauty in her that I'm married, when that happens, this morning my friend Blue could tell you, Karen Blue, we riding in the car, and she want to listen to a tape while I was listening to my jazz. She popped the tape in, and I push it back out. You gotta have respect for me. You see I'm listening to the radio. She said, well, I want to listen to the tape. I'm talking about in times of friction. In times of friction, right? The decisions that I have to make. Look, Dave, I'm sitting inside the car, I'm driving. She's sitting right there. And I just shut up like a little punk. But it's not being a punk though. I'm saying, you see the whole difference here. It's not being a punk. It's learning how to live life on life's terms, accepting your personal responsibilities. That look, everything ain't gonna go your way. Do you know how to accept stuff when she wanna turn left when you wanna turn right? It's not easy. I'm talking about the process of making amends. Why? Because indirect amends make you do something different. See, it's like a coin, right? Every coin got a heads and tails, right? Direct amends is one thing, but what keeps us out the hole is indirect amends. We're talking about the mending of your ways. And watch the decisions that I make. It's not easy watching the decisions that I make. Why? Because I'm a self-destructive person. But through locking on to God, let me tell you something about a loving and almighty God. All right? Through locking on to God. Why? Because the disease is a power greater than me. And my sponsor have taught me and have showed me how if you want to combat the disease, what you need to lock into is a over and over and over again until an answer comes and you're ready to accept it. It's not an easy journey. This thing here, man, this journey that we have taken is not an easy journey, but it's not a difficult one either. Because in the letting go piece that you were just talking about, right? Well, look, you know what would make you let go? When you know that your butt been waxed. Do you understand what I'm saying? But look, you are not going to let go of anything until first you see the error in what you are letting go of. We are not the kind of people that just let go. First you have to see why. Woman, you talked about it. Why do people stay in a relationship and go through the bullshit over and over and over again? Until that same person sees it as a problem, they're going to hold on to it. First step say what? When you become beaten, you become what? I mean, this stuff is real simple. I hear people like, why am I going through the same stuff over and over? Because it has not become apparent to you that it's a problem. I mean, it's real simple stuff here, man. You know what I'm saying? And in the process, what happens is this, right? As you let go more, you get more. But look, you get sometimes what you don't want. Because if you're anything like me, you place your stuff specifically. You look at specific things to measure your success. When God gives you the benefits, right? Sometimes they may not be the benefits that you're looking for. You understand what I'm saying? It's not the benefits you're looking for. As egotistical and as crazy as we are, man, we measure our benefits like more or less materially. A lot of people talk that peace of mind and spirit stuff, but how many people are really in tune with that's the journey that we are on here? We do recover talks about we no longer are compelled to act against our true nature. Ask yourself, what is your true nature? Huh? Are you in this thing fronting? Are you just here to kill some time waiting for the dance? I mean, come on. Are you here to really get some medicine to take for your disease? Look, are you aware of how your disease affects you in your life? Let's go back to the fifth step. I mean, come on, ask yourself these questions, man. Huh? Ask yourself these questions. Or are you just sitting there, comfortable being clean, but fronting about the recovery piece? If you're comfortable being clean, goddammit, say it. We can't do nothing to you. I'm talking about the journey of becoming a human being, man. This thing is about human development here. We talking about dropping the shackles. We talking about putting down the shackles, man. Huh? We talking about dropping the shackles. Huh? Why do you think you always find yourself in the same hole over and over and over again, Kenny? Huh? Come on now, we talking about some real stuff here. This shit ain't about fronting, man.
That's right.
This stuff is real shit here.
That's right.
Sit down with your looking pretty self.
That's right.
No, I'm just serious. I heard someone share earlier, man. Watch the information that we giving out.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Because we looking all pretty, people think that we doing something right, and we dropping madness on them.
That's right. Right.
We dropping straight dope. No hope. Straight dope. Uncut dope. We got niggas so high around this motherfucker, we don't know what's happening. Some of that bullshit that we dropping, man. I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? Because look, man, on this journey, right, the road becomes narrower and your company becomes fewer.
Okay.
You know what I mean, Dave? Huh? When you look back for your boy, guess what? Your boy ain't there with you. When you look back for your girl that was putting them braids up in your hair last night, guess what? She ain't there with you. Because this thing is talking about a personal relationship with you and God. This is all about you and your God. This thing ain't about nothing else, man. You understand what I'm saying here? This thing ain't about nothing else because when you leave here, all you take with you is what? Your actions in your left hand and your deeds in your right. That's all that you're going with. Are you making a difference in somebody's life today? Are you still infecting people? Or are you affecting them? Huh? What are you doing today? Ask yourself. Come on, man. Man, look, let me share something with you, man. I'm going to close with this here, right? When I came to the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous, right, my life was in so much shambles. My life was in so much shambles. And I'm in touch with the message that I heard when I came here. That's why I stand up for Narcotics Anonymous, man. That's why I stand up for this message. Huh? You are not just going to take our message of hope and the promise of freedom. You are not just going to take this message and just do anything to it. This message is too important. Do you walk the streets and see the devastation that we got to be part of fixing? Come on, man, this thing, we not here today. I didn't come all the way from Philadelphia. I'm not getting paid for this shit. Okay. I didn't come up here today just for, I'm not getting paid for, y'all didn't give me no check. I don't know nothing. Neither one of you, I might even see you no more. After I'm finished, I'm gonna listen around and I'm back to Philadelphia. Me and my wife, we gonna argue some more about the tape. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm telling you something, man, right? That when we leave here tonight, ask yourself before you leave here, did you get what God had for you today? Or did you come through here just front?
Listen to Lane.
That stuff is good.
Thank you, Kenny.